Hey, what's up guys? Steve here, and today we're going to take a look at the 30 highest selling 1990 through 1994 basketball cards from the PWCC weekly auction that ended on July 23rd. And we'll kick today's list off at number 30 with this 1991 Upper Deck Michael Jordan, card number 69. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $46.80. This price is down $20 from the majority of PSA 10 comps I found dating back to May, and this All-Star card Jordan is a pop of 1,142 in a PSA 10. Up next at number 29 is this 1993 Ultra Penny Hardaway rookie, card number 305. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $57.60. This is about what this rookie has been going for in a PSA 10 dating back to the fall of 2022. Graded 713 times by PSA, this Penny Hardaway rookie is a pop of 168 in a PSA 10. Coming in at number 28 is this 1993 Stadium Club First Day Issue Michael Jordan, card number 169. This was a BGS 5.5 and it sold for $62.40. This is the lowest graded copy of this Jordan I found in a BGS slab, but this price does seem low as the last PSA 5 of this Jordan sold for $102 back in August of last year. A PSA 10 of this first day issue Michael Jordan has not been put up for auction since April of 2021, where the last one sold on eBay for $2,175. Up next at number 27 is this 1991 Hoops Michael Jordan, card number 536. This was a PSA 10 and it also sold for $62.40. This price is right in line with the majority of PSA 10 comps I found of this Jordan from 2023, and this card is a pop of 377 in a PSA 10. Coming in at number 26 is this 1993 Stadium Club Beam Team Michael Jordan, card number 4. This was a PSA 7 and it sold for $74.40. This is about what this Jordan insert has been going for in a PSA 7 in 2023. Taking a look at current average sale prices, $150 for a PSA 8, roughly $330 for a PSA 9, while the last PSA 10 of this Jordan sold for $11,400 at a Golden auction back on July 20th. Coming in at number 25 is this 1992 Hoops NBA Championship featuring Michael Jordan and Clyde Drexler. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $76.80. This price is up as the majority of PSA 10 comps I found of this card from 2023 have averaged closer to $50. Graded 555 times by PSA, this card is a pop of 183 in a PSA 10. Up next at number 24 is this 1991 Skybox Michael Jordan vs. Magic Johnson, card number 333. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $81.60. This is about what this card has been going for in a PSA 10 dating back to May, and this Jordan vs. Magic is a pop of 883 in a PSA 10. Coming in at number 23 is this 1990 Kenner starting lineup Brown Michael Jordan. This was a PSA 8 and it sold for $81.60. This price is up as this Jordan in a PSA 8 has been going for closer to $45 recently. Even a PSA 9 of this Jordan will currently set you back just over $100. The last PSA 10 of this Brown Kenner starting lineup sold for $1,100 on eBay back on June 11th. Up next at number 22 is this 1992 Stadium Club Shaq rookie, card number 247. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $86.40. This price is on the lower end of what a PSA 10 of this rookie has been going for dating back to May. Graded just over 19,000 times by PSA, this Shaq rookie is a pop of 2,040 in a PSA 10. Coming in at number 21 is this 1992 Skybox USA Basketball Michael Jordan, card number 41. This was a PSA 10 and it also sold for $86.40. This price is up and is the highest PSA 10 comp I found of this card since February, and this Jordan is a pop of 287 in a PSA 10. Kicking off the top 20 of today's list is this 1993 Finest Michael Jordan, card number 1. This was a PSA 9 and it sold for $91.20. This price is on the lower end of what a PSA 9 of this Jordan has been going for dating back to June. You won't find the same discount on a PSA 10, as the majority of PSA 10 comps for this Jordan in 2023 have averaged closer to $550. While this Jordan is a pop of 2,756 in a PSA 9, a PSA 10 is a much lower population of 488. Up next at number 19 is this 1993 Finest Larry Bird Refractor, card number 2. This was a PSA 8 and it sold for $96 even. This price is down as the majority of PSA 8 comps I found in this refractor from 2023 average closer to $130. A PSA 9 of this refractor will currently set you back around $250 on average, while a PSA 10 of this refractor has not hit the market since April of 2020, where the last one sold on eBay for $650. Coming in at number 18 is this 1992 Upper Deck Trade Card Shaq Rookie Auto, card number 1B. This was a BGS authenticated auto and it also sold for $96. This price is right in line with the last BGS authenticated auto of this rookie that sold for $98 on eBay back in May. Without an auto, this Shaq rookie will currently set you back around $500 in a PSA 10. Up next at number 17 is this 1991 Upper Deck Michael Jordan, card number 452. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for just short of $100. This price is on the higher end of what this All-Star card has been going for in a PSA 10 dating back to April. Graded close to 2,500 times by PSA, this Jordan All-Star card is a pop of 890 in a PSA 10. Coming in at number 16 is this 1992 Skybox USA Basketball Michael Jordan, card number 43. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for just over $100. This price is up as the majority of 2023 PSA 10 comps I found on this card average closer to $65, and matter of fact, this is the highest PSA 10 comp I found since May of 2022. Graded 820 times by PSA, this Jordan is a pop of 181 in a PSA 10. Up next at number 15 is this 1992 Upper Deck International Michael Jordan, card number 5. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $103.20. This is the second highest PSA 10 comp I found from 2023, and this price is up compared to the late 2022 prices as well. A BGS Gold Label 10 of this International Jordan has not hit the market since 2018, where the last one sold on eBay for $300. Up next at number 14 is this 1992 Topps Michael Jordan All-Star, card number 115. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $108. This price is up and is the highest PSA 10 comp I found since May, as the majority of PSA 10 comps I found average closer to $75. Graded just over 2,500 times by PSA, this Jordan All-Star is a pop of 721 in a PSA 10. Coming in at number 13 is this 1991 Hoops Michael Jordan, card number 543. This was a PSA 10 and it also sold for $108. This price is up and is the second highest PSA 10 comp I found in this Jordan from 2023 and is up from the last one that sold for $86 earlier in July. Graded 1,338 times by PSA, this Jordan is a pop of 204 in a PSA 10. Up next at number 12 is this 1994 Finest Grant Hill rookie, card number 240. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $115.20. This is about what this rookie has been going for in a PSA 10 in 2023, while a majority of the PSA 10 comps without the protective coating average closer to $90. This rookie is a pop of 242 in a PSA 10 with the protective coating, and a pop of 208 in a PSA 10 without the protective coating. Coming in at number 11 is this 1993 Fleer Living Legends Larry Bird, card number 2. This was a PSA 9 and it sold for $156. This is the first PSA 9 of this card to be put up for auction in over 3 years, and this price is up as the last one sold for $34 on eBay back in April of 2020. This Larry Bird is a pop of 21 in a PSA 9, while a PSA 10 is a pop of only 4, and I have never been able to find a prior comp of this card in a PSA 10. And kicking off the top 10 of today's list is this 1992 Topps Michael Jordan, card number 141. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $174. This price is up and this is about what this Jordan was going for in a PSA 10 back in late 2021, as the majority of recent PSA 10 comps I found average closer to $100. A PSA 10 of this Jordan in the gold parallel currently goes for around $350 on average. Up next at number 9 is this 1991 Hoops featuring Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan, card number 542. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $216. Not sure why this price is so high, as the last PSA 10 sold for $57.60 back on July 16th. Matter of fact, this is the highest price paid for a PSA 10 since the peak of the market back in early 2021. Graded just over 1,100 times by PSA, this card is a pop of 216 in a PSA 10. Coming in at number 8 is this 1991 Fleer All-Star Game, card number 237. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $222. Not only is this price up, this is the highest PSA 10 comp I found since March of 2021. This All-Star Game card featuring Michael Jordan is a pop of 77 in a PSA 10. Up next at number 7 is this 1993 Fleer Living Legends Michael Jordan, card number 4. This was a PSA 9 and it sold for $234. This price is on the higher end of what a PSA 9 of this card has been going for dating back to the fall of 2022. The last PSA 10 of this Jordan sold for $1,469 on eBay back in late April. While this Jordan is a pop of 294 in a PSA 9, A PSA 10 is a pop of only 76. Coming in at number 6 is this 1990 Fleer Michael Jordan, card number 26. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $252. This price is right in line with the majority of PSA 10 comps I found of this Jordan dating back to June. The highest graded copy of this card to ever hit the market is still a black labeled pristine BGS 10, and the last one sold for $13,267 on eBay back in August of 2020. This classic Jordan has now been graded over 50,000 times by PSA, and a PSA 10 is a pop of 6,203. And before we get to the top 5, I do have a decent amount of junk wax era basketball cards that just missed today's list. And we'll start off with this 1990 Hoops Magic Johnson All-Star, card number 18. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $38.40. This is only the second PSA 10 comp I found of this All-Star card to hit the market in 2023. And this price is up from the last one that sold for $27 back in January. Up next, we get another Penny Hardaway rookie, this time with his 1993 Finest rookie, card number 189. This was an SGC 10 and it sold for $34.80. This might be the deal of the week, as a PSA 10 of this rookie has been going for roughly $170 in 2023. We're back to the 1990 Hoops set for our third honorable mention, this time with Magic's MVP base card, card number 157. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $33.60. This is about what this card has been going for in a PSA 10 in 2023. Up next is the Human Highlight film with this 1993 Fleer Living Legends Dominique Wilkins, card number 6. This was a PSA 7 and it sold for $33.60. This is actually the highest graded copy of this card I could find a comp for. Matter of fact, the only other comp I found in a PSA slab was a PSA 6, and it sold for just under $20 back in November of 2022. For our fifth honorable mention, we get this 1990 Skybox Dennis Rodman, card number 91. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $31.20. I found 12 other PSA 10 comps of this Rodman from 2023, and this is about what this card has been going for. Sticking to the same junk wax era set, for our last honorable mention, we get this 1990 Skybox Sean Kemp rookie, card number 268. This was a PSA 9 and it sold for only $12. And kicking off the top 5 of today's list is this 1990 Kenner starting lineup yellow Michael Jordan. This was a PSA 8 and it sold for $276. I literally had to double check the pictures of this listing a few times. I was thinking there was an error in the listing or something. A PSA 8 of this yellow Jordan has been going for around $90 recently. Matter of fact, even a PSA 9 of this card has been averaging $175. The last PSA 10 of this yellow Kenner starting lineup Jordan just sold for $3,900 at a Golden auction back on July 21st. Up next at number 4 is this 1993 Nike Warner Aerospace Michael Jordan, card number 7. This was a BGS 9.5 and it sold for $420. While this is the first BGS 9.5 of this Jordan to hit the market since 2021, to no surprise this price is drastically down, as the last one sold for $910 back in June of 2021. The last PSA 10 of this Jordan sold for $835 on eBay back in June. Coming in at number 3 is this 1992 Stadium Club Beam Team Members Only Michael Jordan, card number 1. This was a BCCG 10 and it sold for $480. This price seems a little high for a BCCG 10, as the last BGS Mint 9 of this members only Jordan sold for $372 back in December of last year. Up next at number 2 is this 1993 Upper Deck Michael Jordan Award winner holograms card number EB9. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $810. I know we saw this hologram in one of the June weekly auctions, but like I previously mentioned, because PSA did not put whether this card was an Italian, Spanish, or French variation on the slab, I was unable to find any further research for you guys. And topping off today's list at number 1 is this 1992 Topps Gold Shaq rookie, card number 362. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $930. Thanks for joining me today, guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.